Hey, what if I told you that the key to making a lot more money is to stop focusing on and obsessing with money? There's lots of reasons why this is true, and in this video, I'm going to explain what I've used in my life that's helped me a ton, and what I use with a lot of my private consulting clients that's helped them a ton. It's more simple than you might think, but it's going to challenge you nonetheless. And before I jump into it, I want you to think about the difference between ROI and COI. Most people, especially lower level thinkers, are obsessed with ROI, especially short-term ROI, return on investment. What am I gonna get right now because I've made some investment or a purchase or something? But the real question you should be asking yourself is, what is your COI? COI is an acronym for cost of inaction. What is the cost of doing nothing? Sometimes when I do a workshop, I'll write on the whiteboard in front of a group of people, I'll say, what's your biggest expense in life? And people say different things. They say their mortgage, they say taxes, they say college. But the true biggest expense any of us are gonna ever have is the cost of not knowing something, or the cost of not becoming something more. And it's a weird way to think of it, but as is true with most success principles, they can be counterintuitive. You know, the internet is full of people running around, how to make 10K a month, how to make 50K a month, how to do this, how to do that. And when you're focused just on getting money, what you're doing subconsciously is you're focusing on lack. You're focusing on the thing that you don't have. And when you're focused on getting more of the thing you don't have, what you're doing is you're living in a perpetual state of I don't have, I don't have, I don't have, I want really bad, I really badly want this money. And it's a really bad frame. It slows everything down, and it really can prohibit you from achieving a lot of success ever. And you can ask yourself this too. What do you actually want? You see, most people don't know what they even want. They typically are really good at knowing what they don't want, but that's an inverted negative way of looking at the same thing. Don't focus on what you don't want, but focus on what you want. So sometimes people pay me a lot of money, and the first 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times I actually talk to them, the only thing we're doing is trying to get clear on what the person wants, because then and only then can we even optimize and build a plan to get there. Another thing people don't realize is how the simplest, smallest changes can completely change the trajectory of your whole life and your business. You don't have to overhaul and change 500 things. There's usually a handful of 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 4 things that if you improved those, everything else is improved by proxy. Sometimes I share this idea with people called this 4 success derivatives. And what a success derivative is there's 4 different things. They all start with the letter C to make it easy for you to remember. But if you improved these 4 things, everything about your whole life would change. And I'll tell you what they are, and then we'll go through them. The first one is confidence. The second one is consistency. The third one is clarity. And the fourth one is community. Now, before you click off this video thinking that you know what I mean, don't do that, because you could be one concept away from a huge breakthrough. I heard a quote from Gary Halbert that said that one idea sufficiently exploited is worth more than 10 lifetimes of hard work. I can tell you this, my friend, that the way to get ahead and the way to go faster is not by just doing more of what you're doing. You need leverage in your life. And I'm not talking about leverage like getting debt. I'm talking about leverage like becoming a different person. There's a reason that over 80% of lottery winners go bankrupt within 5 years. And it's because who they are as a human doesn't match the result that's in their bank account. And like a rubber band that's stretched too high, it will snap back down to reality given enough time. And out of the 4 C's, again, confidence, clarity, consistency, and community, the biggest one, in my opinion, is confidence. Now, to the untrained eye, arrogance and confidence seem like the same thing, but they're not the same thing even a little bit. The biggest problem I see for most small business owners is they lack confidence. And when you lack confidence, everything is harder for you. Everything becomes almost impossible for you. So instead of trying to get money, we want to figure out, how can I improve my confidence? I know for me, when I sold my window cleaning business in Michigan, we moved to Costa Rica. I was kind of scared out of my mind to do that, but we felt, my wife and I, that God had called us to go to Costa Rica for some weird reason. And whether we're crazy or not is beside the point, but it stretched us and it built our confidence. And after I got to Costa Rica, I told my wife, I feel a real need to develop my public speaking skills. If you don't know this about me, I'm actually an extreme introvert. My battery gets drained when I'm around lots of people, and I was terrified to public speak. It's actually the #1 fear of adult in the United States is public speaking, and the #2 fear is death, which means people would rather be in the casket than giving a eulogy at a funeral, which is crazy. So I told her, I'm gonna say yes every time I'm asked to speak for at least 2 years. And I called my shot to her. I did hard things because I knew it would ultimately change who I was. I wanted to throw up. I got on airplanes and went to little tiny events all over the place. I tried to get out of it. I tried to weasel out of it. Ashlee wouldn't let me, my wife, Ashlee. She said, Joshua Latimer, you said every single time for 2 years. And I did it over and over and over. And little by little, gradually, my confidence built up. You see, making money is easier if you're a confident person. And confidence happens as a result of evidence in your life. You could make the argument that someone that's really, really overweight, like morbidly obese, it's not that they're not confident in themselves. It's that they're 100% confident that they're not worthy, or they're not worth it, or they're not destined for greatness or something. You know, I think most people have confidence, but a lot of people have negative inverted confidence. A lot of people are totally confident that it's not going to work out, that it's all going to fall apart, that lots of negative things are going to happen. We want to develop in you positive confidence that you were made on purpose for a purpose, that you have a mission and a mandate and a destiny on your life. Yes, it's really true. Believe it and take it to the bank. However, if you don't think it's true, then life's going to be really hard for you. So again, if we can increase our confidence, things are going to go easier for us. The next one would be consistency. There's really nothing in the world that can replace volume. And what does that mean? It means you need reps. When it comes to marketing or making money in a small business, you see, most people don't have enough reps. They don't have enough volume of experience. Let's pretend for the purposes of this video that you need to do 100 different types of marketing campaigns before you figure out your golden ticket home run system for customer acquisition. Let's say it takes 100 times of trying it. See, the problem for most smaller companies is that there's these big time periods and these big lag periods in between when they try stuff. Because they launch it their first time, it flops and doesn't do good. They lose $800 on Facebook ads, and then there's 6 months that go by before they muster up the courage to try a second time. See, the problem isn't that other people are better than you and smarter than you. The problem is that some people get through their 100 times that they need to do faster. You know, I've also said for years that a good coach or a mentor or a business consultant, they never make anybody successful. You see, what my job is, if I'm working with you, is to help you go faster. I'm trying to collapse and compress time in between those things, right? If you don't take it personally and you're more consistent, if you focus on the success derivative of consistency, becoming a person who's consistent, who has volume, a body of work that's big, you attain real mastery, you work on your confidence, you do hard things that freak you out, you go do your version of public speaking to level up as a human, really good things start to happen in your business. The third success derivative is clarity. And this is where I always start when I'm working with people one-on-one. And for my own self, it's very difficult because we're so close, we can't see the forest through the trees. We're so close to it when it comes to our own situation, our own business, that we can't see the forest through the trees. So when I'm working with someone, I'm really being a stickler on what exactly do you want, and are you sure that that is the thing that you want? One of the ways I get to the truth is I use what's called a so that bridge. They'll tell me something like, Josh, I want to get to 5 trucks. You know, maybe they have a service company and they have 2 trucks and they say, I want to get to 5 trucks. And then I say, okay, cool. You want to get to 5 trucks so that what? And they say, well, I want to get to 5 trucks so that I make more money. Dummy, what are you talking about, Josh? And I say, okay, you want to make more money so that what? Well, I want to make more money so I can pay off my debt. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You want to pay off your debt so that what? And this is actually a true story. This guy told me he wants to pay off his debt so that his wife will stop nagging him. And what I'm doing by using this exercise with him, and hopefully you can use it for yourself, is creating clarity. Because we're unclear on who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, and what the next step is. And until you know what the end destination is, you can't calibrate your GPS to even point at it. So anyway, he said he wants to pay off his debt so that his wife stops nagging him. And then I said, you want her to stop nagging you so that what? And he said, so that she will trust me again. And this is a very powerful lesson, because this person that thought that he wants to get to 5 trucks, what he really wanted, what he really needed was to reestablish deep connection and trust with his wife. And the whole plan we're going to build together completely changed so that now we can optimize for what he really actually wants first. Can you see how powerful this is? So who watching this, you, if your confidence went up by 100%, your consistency and your volume and body of attempts went up, and the time between these attempts went up, whether it's marketing or working out or whatever, if that improved by 100% and your clarity went up by 100%, can you see how your life would change? Because I promise you that it would. And then last but not least, you have community. Jim Rohn famously says that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I think that's generally true. But are you intentionally, purposefully, even trying to network and grow your community? Because I gotta be honest, it's easy to be a big fish in a small pond. Maybe you're the most successful person that you know in real life. Maybe you're already there. And what that does is it causes you to not want to grow anymore. Maybe you're this big fish in a small pond and no one believed in you and now you're doing pretty good for yourself. But is that all you were destined for, was to be where you are right now? Is there more in the tank? Well, one way to get motivated again to dream bigger is to change the room of people that you're in. And you know what? It costs money sometimes to do this. Not every time, but if you want to be around high caliber, big thinking people that are going to pull the best of you out of you, then you got to be willing to buy a ticket to get in that room. So in the beginning of this video, I said that one idea properly exploited is worth more than 10 lifetimes of hard work. This is a profound statement. I have a question for you. What is that one big idea? What's that thing for you? What's the one domino that by knocking it over, it knocks over 20 more dominoes? Is it your confidence? Is it your consistency? Because you probably don't need to learn a bunch of tactical stuff about your business. You probably need to become a different human. Do you need more clarity? Do you need to upgrade your community? What is it for you? Because I promise you, this is the real leverage that you need. It's not whether to use red or green on your flyer. It's not how to log into the newest software and click the button. You need belief. You need certainty. You need clarity. You need definitiveness of purpose, which is a phrase coined by Napoleon Hill. Hey, I know this is philosophical and deep, but I hope that it challenges you and gets the wheels turning. I mean, the purpose of this YouTube channel is to just serve entrepreneur families. And whether you're married and you have kids or not, I know this is valuable for you either way, but our heart beats for married entrepreneurs with kids. We want you to make more money. And the way to do that isn't what it seems. We have to up-level your confidence, your consistency, your clarity, your community. You have to do hard things. You have to challenge the status quo. You have to do things that scare you, frankly. And sometimes you have to pay money to get in a different room. But what if you could have everything you ever dreamed of? Would it be worth it? Remember, don't just focus on ROI when you make purchasing decisions. Focus on the cost of inaction, the cost of doing nothing, the true cost of not becoming who you were meant to be. If you're enjoying this content, please like, share, subscribe. I know everybody says that, but will you actually stop what you're doing and actually subscribe and actually like? Will you do it? You don't have to. I guess I can't find it. I don't know if you did or not. But if you got value out of this, it's your moral obligation to like it, subscribe, share it, leave a comment. I'd love to hear your story, what kind of business you're in, and what type of videos you'd like to see in the future. Until next time, take care and God bless.